Quick safety first. This episode is food first and not a replacement for medical care. If you have sudden heavy bleeding, chest pain, signs of blood clots, or already take hormone therapy or anticoagulants, please check in with your clinician before trying new herbs. That said, I woke up last week drenched in sweat at 3 a.m., stared at the ceiling, and thought, there has to be something simple in the kitchen that helps right now. So today, we'll show 2 real clinician-vetted recipes you can make in minutes.
Welcome back to Earthy Remedy. I'm Fiona. Today's promise is practical. 2 cook-along demos, clear safety rules, and a measurable 2-week trial you can bring to your provider. We'll make the cooling sip for hot flashes and a night nourish porridge to help sleep and mood. Transcript and printable recipe cards are in the show notes.
And I'm Sam Nang. We're joined by Dr. Maya Patel, MD, board-certified gynecologist and endocrinologist, and Ana Ramos, clinical herbalist and culinary medicine educator. Hi, Maya. Hi, Ana. So grateful you're here.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here. I'll focus on where food can help, where we need labs or medical therapy, and the exact red flags you should never ignore.
Hello. Happy to be with you. I'll keep the herbal suggestions culinary, low dose, and kitchen friendly, with swaps so people can use what's accessible and affordable.
Let's start with plain physiology so listeners feel seen. Vasomotor symptoms, hot flashes and night sweats, are driven by small shifts in the brain's thermostat as estrogen changes. That thermostat becomes more sensitive, so tiny triggers, warm rooms, spicy foods, stress, can cause a sudden heat wave. Sleep architecture also shifts, less deep sleep and more awakenings, which makes mood regulation harder and sharpens fatigue. From a metabolic and bone perspective, decreasing estrogen affects bone remodeling and can change fat distribution and blood sugar control over time. Food won't replace hormone therapy where it's needed, but it can support blood sugar stability, mood, sleep, and bone support nutrients.
So many listeners want practical moves they can try tonight. Before we get into recipes, quick reminder. If you're on anticoagulants, SSRIs, or current HRT, or if you have hormone-sensitive cancer, pause and check with your clinician or pharmacist before adding herbs. Maya, can you expand briefly on that?
Absolutely. Herbs in culinary amounts are usually low risk, but interactions matter. Anticoagulants like warfarin can be affected by herbs that influence clotting, so check an interaction checklist. Some herbs have mild estrogenic activity. If you have a history of estrogen-sensitive cancer or are on HRT, consult your oncologist or gynecologist. And if hot flashes are severe, frequent, or accompanied by cardiovascular symptoms, those are red flags to seek evaluation. The simplest phrasing to bring to your clinician: I tried a food-first trial and tracked hot flashes and sleep. Can we review results and medications to see if further evaluation or HRT is appropriate? And from the herbal side, we'll keep to culinary portions. Teas, infusions, a teaspoon or 2 of seeds, not concentrated extracts. I'll say who should avoid each ingredient during the demos, and I'll point listeners to clinician-vetted references in the show notes.
Great. Let's move into evidence-based nutrition strategies for menopause. What food choices actually support symptoms and long-term health? First, blood sugar stability. Regular protein and fiber at meals reduces spikes that can trigger hot flashes and mood dips. Second, bone support. Prioritize calcium and vitamin D-rich foods and include protein. Third, healthy fats. Omega-3s and monounsaturated fats support mood. And meal timing. A lighter, balanced evening meal can improve sleep onset.
Simple labs to consider with your clinician are vitamin D, fasting glucose or A1C if you have symptoms or risk factors, and a bone density scan where appropriate. These help tailor clinical decisions, but small food changes can still move the needle, so this is not all or nothing.
Okay, demo time. Quick bridge will restate safety. These recipes use culinary, low doses. Do not substitute concentrated extracts without guidance. We'll make the cooling sip first, which you can sip when a hot flash hits.
Cooling sip. Ingredient list. I'll read slowly so you can jot it down. 1 cup cold filtered water. 1 teaspoon crushed fennel seeds, or 1 small thin slice of fresh fennel.
1 chilled chamomile tea bag or 1 tablespoon loose chamomile. Juice of half a lemon or lime. A tiny pinch of sea salt. Optional, 1 to 2 ice cubes and a few fresh mint leaves if you have them. If you're on medications or have hormone symptoms conditions, pause. Fennel and chamomile are culinary, but check the interaction checklist in the show notes.
Walk us through the quick method on.
Step 1. In a jar or glass, crush the fennel lightly with the back of a spoon so the oils release. You'll smell that sweet anise aroma. Step 2. Add the chamomile tea bag or loose chamomile, pour in 1 cup of cold water, and stir. Step 3. Add the lemon or lime juice and a tiny pinch of salt. Salt helps with electrolyte balance and can reduce the abruptness of a hot flash. Step 4. Let it steep in the fridge for 10 minutes if you can, or add ice and sip immediately. Step 5. Strain if you used loose herbs, or simply leave the tea bag in and sip. This is meant to be refreshing and grounding. Sip slowly until the sensation eases.
Quick science note. Fennel contains mild phytoestrogens, and chamomile can have mild anticoagulant effects in some people. In culinary amounts, this is low risk. But again, if you're on blood thinners, SSRIs, or hormone therapy, check the interaction checklist before regular use.
Substitutions and affordability tips for listeners. If you don't have fresh fennel, use 1/2 teaspoon fennel seed. If no chamomile, a green tea would be okay for some people, but it has caffeine, so for night use, skip it. Mint is optional but lovely. Use tap water if filtered isn't available. This is about access, not perfection.
Who should avoid the cooling sip regularly? People on anticoagulants, people told to avoid phytoestrogens by their clinician, and anyone with severe allergies to any ingredient. For one-off sips, it's usually fine, but keep it culinary level and not an extract.
All right, next up, Night Nourish Porridge. This is our sleep and mood support recipe you can make before bed.
1/2 cup rolled oats. 1 cup milk. Dairy or fortified plant milk. Choose one with added calcium and vitamin D if you're avoiding dairy. 1 tablespoon ground flaxseed, or 1 tablespoon chia if gluten-free and flax allergy. 1 tablespoon almond butter, or 2 tablespoons sunflower seed butter for nut-free. 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon. Optional, 1 teaspoon dried lemon balm, or a small pinch of culinary lavender for calm. Pinch of salt, and 1 teaspoon honey or maple syrup to taste. If you're allergic to nuts, use the sunflower seed butter. If you have hormone-sensitive cancer or are on specific meds, check the notes and show resources about flax lignans.
Quick nutritional notes as Anna reads. Oats provide slow carbs and beta-glucan, which support blood sugar and satiety. Flax brings omega-3 ALA and lignans that can help mood and bowel regularity. Fortified milk adds calcium and vitamin D for bones, and magnesium from seeds and nut butters helps with sleep.
Now the cook-along steps. Step 1. In a small pot, combine your 1/2 cup oats and 1 cup milk. Turn heat to medium. Step 2. Stir in the ground flax and a pinch of salt. Step 3. As it warms, you'll see steam and the oats will plump. Stir frequently to avoid sticking. Step 4. After about 4 to 5 minutes, when the porridge is creamy, stir in the almond or sunflower seed butter and the cinnamon. Step 5. Remove from heat and let rest for a minute. Add the honey or maple if you like it sweeter, and sprinkle lemon balm or lavender on top if using. Step 6. Transfer to a bowl, breathe in the aroma, and eat slowly. This slow ritual helps signal bedtime to your nervous system.
Timing tip. Eat this about 60-90 minutes before bed so digestion isn't disruptive. Storage. Make a single serving fresh or double the batch and store in the fridge up to 48 hours. Reheat gently with a splash of milk.
Who should avoid or be cautious? If you're on medications where flax may affect hormone metabolism, or if your clinician has advised avoiding concentrated lignans, check before adding ground flax regularly. Also, be mindful of calorie changes if you're monitoring weight. This is meant as a nourishing snack, not a large meal.
2 safety anchors I want to reinforce. 1. Keep everything culinary. Teas, seeds, food portions. Avoid concentrated supplements unless a clinician prescribes them. 2. If you're experiencing new or severe symptoms, heavy vaginal bleeding, sudden leg swelling, or chest pain, seek immediate care. For medication interactions, ask your pharmacist specifically about warfarin, certain antidepressants, and any hormone therapy you may be taking. We've included exact phrasing and a clinician-reviewed interaction checklist in the show notes to bring to appointments. On sourcing and dosing. For culinary use, fennel 1 teaspoon crushed, chamomile 1 teaspoon loose or 1 tea bag, lemon balm 1 teaspoon dried, lavender a tiny pinch. Buy whole herbs from reputable suppliers, prefer organic when possible, and avoid supplements labeled as high-dose extracts for these recipes. I'll list reliable resources and references in the notes.
We have a brief listener vignette. I'm 49, perimenopausal, on an SSRI for anxiety, and I get 3 to 5 night sweats a week. Can I try the cooling sip and the porridge? Maya, Anna, quick answer?
Likely yes, with caution. Because you're on an SSRI, check with your prescribing clinician or pharmacist for any interactions. Some herbs can change metabolism pathways. Start with a 1-day test of the cooling sip and 1 evening of the porridge. Track symptoms and bring that data to your next appointment.
I'd suggest starting with single culinary portions and noting how you feel. If you notice changes in bleeding, mood, or any unusual symptoms, stop and check in with a clinician. That 2-week tracking plan is perfect here.
Okay, listeners, here's the 2-week measurable trial plan. Metric 1, hot flash count per day and intensity on a 1 to 5 scale. Metric 2, nightly sleep hours and number of awakenings. Metric 3, daily mood rating, 1 to 10 in the evening. Keep a simple note: date, hot flash count, sleep hours, mood number. Try the cooling sip as needed and the night nourish porridge nightly for 2 weeks. That gives you data to share with your clinician.
And if you want sample wording to bring to your clinician, I completed a 2-week food trial tracking hot flashes, sleep, and mood. Here are my daily counts. Can we review whether labs or changes in my management are appropriate? That frames it collaboratively.
Quick note on variations. Swap oats for quinoa flakes if gluten-free. Use chia instead of flax for similar omega support. And for a vegan fortified milk, choose one with calcium and vitamin D listed on the label. If sunflower seed butter is your only option, it's an excellent nut-free swap with good magnesium and protein. One last safety recap before we close. Avoid concentrated herbal extracts unless directed. Check interactions with anticoagulants and psychiatric meds, and seek immediate care for red flags. Use the interaction checklist and the suggested phrasing in the show notes when speaking with your clinician.
Reflection time. This matters because small kitchen acts are agency. Start small. Make the sip, stir the porridge, notice how you feel. Real food, real results. One small step.
Practical next steps. Download the printable recipe cards, the clinician-reviewed interaction checklist, and the 2-week tracker in the show notes. Try one demo tonight and track for 2 weeks. Data helps decisions.
We'd love to hear from you. Try a demo, then send a 60-second voice note or tag a photo at Earthy Remedy with how it went. Your notes help shape future episodes and show other listeners what works in real life.
Download the transcript and resources, time-stamped show notes, printable recipe cards, sourcing links, and the interaction checklist are all there. If in doubt, bring your tracker to your provider.
Listen to your body. If something changes or you feel worse after a new food or herb, stop and consult your clinician. We've given safe, low-dose culinary options here. Use them thoughtfully.
The Earth provides simple tools. Make it your own, and remember, small rituals can be powerful. Take it slow and notice the little shifts.
Thank you, Maya and Anna. Thank you all for listening. This is Earthy Remedy. We'll be back with more kitchen remedies and evidence-aware guidance.